All right, guys, so I want to give you an update on the Pioneer. I just washed it finally after Tennessee, and then I rinsed it a whole Paul. Now I kind of hosed it off. I'm going to start this video with 5 annoying things about it, and that's the title of the video, but I'm also going to give you some context. So first annoying thing is the latch system. So the way the latch on this thing works is there's this pin right here, and when it closes there's a claw that clicks over it. Well, that claw can bang against that thing once you get in some really rocky terrain. It makes a lot of noise. Also, the claw is mounted here, 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 and here with some pretty, I'm going to call it cheap hardware. So let me find the bag of stuff right here. So the rattle got so annoying I actually took it apart on the trail. So this is the hardware. It's just hard plastic, and the rod slides through there. There's a spring on it. That's pretty much it. It's just a bunch of these hard plastic things. Some of the rattling is because the rod is not isolated in nice rubber bushings. It's these hard plastic mounts. So that's one thing the Polaris and the Armax do better, is the rod that opens the bed is mounted in rubber. So that's a really annoying thing. The way I got around it was I took the entire rod off that went all the way through here. I don't even know what I did with it. And I just put a ratchet strap over the bed, and you can see where it scratched my plastics up, and it totally fixed the rattle. This is the rod I'm talking about, so you can see how that latch is all worn. That's it from it bouncing against that. So most side-by-sides don't have a great system there for keeping that rattle away, but this one's pretty bad, and because this engine is so quiet and the exhaust is so quiet and there's no belt noise, you really hear that rattle. Rattles drive me crazy, so I took drastic action and corrected it the first day of the Tennessee ride. That's thing number 1 that annoys me. Thing number 2 that annoys me. Let's go ahead and close this door. It didn't close. It didn't close. So you can see that the door is already sagged enough where it's not lining up the latch. So if you pick it up and slam it, it'll lock. It's just already sagged down a little bit. Easily adjust, see how much wiggle room there is there. Pretty cheap, shitty way to make a door. There's a little bit of adjustment wiggle room in here. I'm going to try to adjust those and fix it. But you can see that that's already wearing quite a lot. So when you close the door, you got to kind of pick it up to close it now. I suspect that's the same annoyance in a lot of the older Pioneers. That's pretty shitty. That's thing number 2 I find really annoying. Both of these things are kind of bodywork, fit and finish type things. You may notice a theme here. If you look down here, this bar is pretty bent. It used to be straight. Well, the bar's there to give you a step if you have the 5-seater. It's pretty useless on the 3-seater, and you can see that it's supported there, but then it's cantilevered all the way out here. I dropped down on a pretty hard rock and I bent the shit out of it, and now this bodywork all doesn't line up. Yes, I shouldn't be doing big rock climbs at high speed with a Pioneer 1000. I know, I get it, but kind of a stupid design. I'm just going to lop off that bar there. That's thing number 3 that's annoying about the Pioneer. Thing number 4, the seat. If you go in deep water, which I know it's not factory snorkel, it's not made to go to deep water, this seat collects a ton of water, and the way the pan is designed, it will not drain out very much. So see the puddle down there? Every time I go deep, I take the seat off and I let it sit in the garage and drip. But that thing weighs like 70 pounds already. And yeah, it's going deep a lot, but that's pretty bad. Thing number 5 that's annoying about this Pioneer. So this screen is more waterproof than the Talon screens. But, hey buddy, the dog just walked up over here, that's not mine. The button's already out, so I can't scroll through and see my stuff. Luckily, it's stuck on temperature, the one I'd want it stuck on, but that's annoying. That's thing number 5. Thing number 6, dude, get away from my truck. Thing number 6 that's kind of annoying, not that big of a deal. This is the new GX460, by the way. Closing it so this dog doesn't try to jump in there. Hey, buddy. What's your name? I assume you're my neighbors. Anyways, so thing number 6 that's pretty annoying, the oil change interval, it calls for 20 hours. I have a new friend. 20 hours or 100 miles for your first oil change, and it takes a ton of oil, like 6.5 quarts, because it's a double clutch transmission, etc. That's kind of excessive, kind of annoying early first service. A lot of other machines have a longer interval in the first service. Most of us do a big ride up in Tennessee, do 300, 400, 500 miles, and then we do the first service. I just did it on this one. All the oils were totally clean. Put all Honda oil back in it. Differentials were clear. Subtrans, always check your subtrans frequently. It'll get damaged quickly if you get mud in it. But it's easy to keep snorkel. We got just one vent line. That was nice and clean. So good to go there. I need to check the air filter still. Probably can do that tomorrow. So another thing that's kind of annoying is how to get to the air filter on here. You do have to pull off this big plastic cover, and the bed doesn't open quite far enough to make it really easy. So the way I like to do it is I kneel on the seat here and work over the top this way. But Honda could have very easily designed this bed to dump back a little farther and be way better. So you see, you can get a few more inches out of it. So when I'm working back here, a lot of times I'll put a strap over the roof of the bed to get a few more inches out of the bed. Or you can even just throw something heavy, like put the cooler back against the tailgate, and that'll lift the bed up a little more too. But if the bed went back another 3 inches, it'd be much easier to work on stuff. Honda did do a really good job supporting the bed. So he's got these big rubber mounts in 4 spots to kind of distribute the load. The Yamaha bed looks pathetic compared to the Honda bed as far as the Yamaha RMAX, as far as where those mounts are and stuff. But this bed is a lot bigger towing capacity. It's a bigger bed, so you kind of expect that. But yep, those are some things that are annoying me. There's also some other little fit and finish things that I've kind of just taken off and removed. There used to be some covers back here that just kind of stuck out and the cigarette lighter mounted in them. I removed that cover and stuck the cigarette lighter down there where it's more protected because it's kind of flushed in this corner. And I removed that one too. You can see how there's extra holes here because they drilled them wrong the first time. I don't know if the dealership installed that or Honda, but pretty pathetic. That was annoying. I just deleted that. I pulled these door skins off because they were just rattling and they fit way too loose. But yeah, other than that, it's a great buggy, but those are some gripes. You know, it's the cheapest 1000 out there by a pretty good margin. It's also the lightest. And it's got a real front locker and a real transmission that you can shift the gears on. So I think all those little gripes are worth dealing with to have this machine, but it is by no means perfect. And Honda, there's a lot of room for improvement on your fit and finish. Pretty pathetic. But we love your transmission. Keep putting those transmissions in everything. What else are they going to tell you? I think that's about it. The 4x4 system worked flawlessly. You'll see it in some more of the videos. I did a nice 1-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, 3-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive test. Transmission worked flawlessly. A lot of you guys don't realize this, but your belt drives, every single belt drive that's in a side-by-side or an ATV, it is not computer controlled or smart controlled. It's controlled by RPM, and it's torque sensitive to an extent. Automotive CVTs, like in any car, like a RAV4 or Prius or whatever, the computer actually controls the ratio. It's an eCVT or electric CVT where you have presets in there and the computer can actually control the ratio. This is the only side-by-side that you can control the ratio in, other than like a YXZ because it's full manual, or Pioneer 500 because it's semi-automatic or automatic now actually. But without other than those machines, every other side-by-side, you're guessing if you have the right ratio based on your RPM and your wheel torque. The computer can't say, oh, he's starting to turn the steering wheel, let's give him a lower gear for this corner. I can do that. I can just bloop, I'm in a lower gear for the corner. None of you guys can do that. So I come back to this over and over again. Belt drives suck because they don't give you the control. Maybe you're fine not having that control, but if you know what you're doing, that control gives you a lot more opportunity to do cool shit and makes it way more functional. I got to get this dog out of here. He's very curious.